Good morning. It is Vlogust day 10. Yeah, I have some good news about the other two bobbins, the Cherries Jubilee and the Blue Moon that I had. There were no knots in either one of those, so maybe I just got two bad bobbins. I watched Ross last night talk about the hat that he had made, with the pretty lime greens. And it's a gorgeous hat, and how he enjoyed working off the bobbin, came off. And I guess he didn't have any problems with it. But when I was winding, I started with the cherry um, Jubilee to wind into cakes. And it kept sticking on those stupid slits, and I was just over here just a growling. Okay, there might have been a few cuss words. So, my husband's sitting over there. Now, he had watched me the day before with the other two skeins, moaning and groaning and talking about how bad it was, talking junk. So, last night he goes, "Why don't you just take the bobbin end off?" Really? Really? I didn't think about that. Took the bobbin end off. They caked up fine. The biggest issue is where they were all wrapped together around the cone. Why didn't he think of that yesterday? Or the day before when I was winding? So anyway, yeah, just take the bobbin ends off and they work fine. Don't catch on the slits, don't split, you know. Um, it is a 6-strand ply. And what I noticed is when you take the bobbin ends off, it doesn't unwind as much. The ply doesn't come undone. So apparently that's the trick. You just got to take the bobbin ends off. Who knew? Rather crazy if you ask me. Oh, sometimes I wonder. I have to go out to the mailbox to mail a couple of items. So I thought that I would take you by the sunflower um, fields that are around here. They're pretty awesome to see. It's in, you know, this little town, you could call it Lock Haven, Flemington, Mill Hall, Mackeyville, Salona. They're kind of all really just, within a few miles of each other or feet of each other, like Rote, those kind of things. But they're in Mackeyville. So I thought I would take you for a little ride so you could see the sunflower fields because I've been told they're absolutely awesome. And I haven't seen them yet. So, yeah, I want to go see them. What can I say? I watched um, Ryan's of the Yarn Hags video this morning about the hag stitch, and it looks very interesting. So I'm looking forward to trying it. Oak Knob Makes has a tutorial for it, as well as Sabrina Melodious. But Sabrina also has a written pattern for the pattern that she chose to use to stitch with. So, and I haven't looked at Monique's to see if she has a written pattern, but I can't imagine her not having one or working on getting it written. Um, and, her pattern, like for the hat that I had done, that's up in Ravelry, and then there's also a Google page. What I have found recently with Ravelry is if they are free downloads, you can go in as a guest and download them. It's just if you have to use a code or you want to purchase, you can't purchase them that way as a guest if you're not, a member of Ravelry. And of course, I'm not a member of Ravelry because of the whole hullabaloo and the and the nastiness that's going on there. And apparently there's a lot of nastiness still going on. So, yeah, it's crazy. This world has gone crazy. And I find it rather interesting. My husband and I were talking about the thing with Portland. You know, they're still having nightly issues. And of course, the federal officers have moved out. But, you know, Antifa's still out there trying to destroy, riot, and using peaceful protesters as their shields. So those of you that are peaceful protesters, if I were you, I would leave at 6 p.m. and leave the jerks to themselves to be arrested. Stay out of it so you're not in the middle of the fray. But that's just my 2 cents. What do I know? But, you know, if you follow the Antifa and you look at some of the things, they are products and they follow some beliefs about turning this country into a communist nation. They do a lot of what the brown shirts and Nazis did, and those are their tactics, and yes, they do train militarily wise. So, they're a nasty group. So if you see somebody, you know, what I think is funny is we were laughing about that they're suing the, I guess the police department or somebody for the equipment that they have to have for their protest. I'm like, you don't need body armor, hats, you know, shielded hats and goggles and those things if you're peacefully protesting. So I think that's a regular, absolutely ridiculous lawsuit and quite taxing on our court systems. I do hope that they lose in a big way and they have to pay big fines. Of course, you'll never see that money, you know. It's kind of like the Black Lives Matter movement. The organization has taken in billions of dollars. Have they formed a bank for blacks? Have they done anything in black neighborhoods to help? No. So when those kind of organizations spring up, I have a very dim view of them, because if you're not helping the people in those neighborhoods that you say that you care about, to me that tells me you're just another fly-by-night after the money and everything else. So, and of course, if you've read the manifesto over at Black Lives Matter organization, you understand that they want to take our normal government, take us from being a republic to a Marxist nation. So, just be careful of the groups you identify with. You know, I know when La Raza had first started where I was growing up in New Mexico, they did a lot to help the Latino neighborhoods. They helped get them funding, they helped get them, you know, all kinds of things. Now, since then, it's become a little more political, so I haven't followed it since then. But where I grew up in Roswell, New Mexico, they did a lot to help the Latino neighborhoods. So, you know, sometimes you got to put your money where your mouth is and take care of the business and the people you say you're representing. So, those are my thoughts. All right, I'm going to let you go now. I'm going to run off to the post office and get out to those fields and do a little bit of filming on those sunflower fields. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Everybody have a great day, and remember to be safe, be well, and as always, choose kindness. Well, never made it to the sunflower fields. However, on my ride out there, I did come across an Amish lady in her buggy and a couple of kids, and the wheel was kind of funky looking. So I asked her if she needed a ride somewhere, if I could help. And so I took her back to her house so she could pick up the men, so we could pick up the men folk, take them back to fix the wheel. So I did a good deed. But when I was at her house, they had a small plot of sunflowers. So I'm going to show you that. But other than that, tomorrow is another day, and I'll go out in search of the fields. I have a better idea of where they are. So look forward to that. See you guys later. Bye.